Hi, You Can Heal family. Welcome back to another day of learning how to love ourselves, care for ourselves, and encourage ourselves in this 29-day challenge. Well, today we are on challenge number 15, and this one is really, really important to me because it helped me so much on my healing journey. So I was really deep into experiencing a lot of pain in my marriage, and I was still married at the time, but making a decision to not be married any longer. And I really can't tell you what you need to do regarding your marriage. It's very personal. If you're still married to someone who you feel is not treating you right or is hurting you and is not respecting you, you know what's going on with you. So this video is real serious because there's going to come a time when you have to make a decision. You're going to have to make a choice and ask yourself questions like, am I respecting myself? Am I valuing myself? Am I loving me by choosing to stay with this person? And you really have to go deep and search inside yourself. So today's video, we're talking about accepting the person or persons in your past who have hurt you. And this is not easy. Do not take this video lightly. I don't take this message lightly because it took me a long time to understand this. And when I did, my healing process accelerated a lot. So I want to share with you from my 12-week course. In week 9, I talk about accepting the person who's hurt you. And I believe it's pillar, what is it here? Pillar number 5 talks about acceptance. And it's something that you must allow yourself to be open to in order to move forward in healing. So I want to read to you out of page 3. It's this particular workbook and the course is about 11 pages long. And I want to share with you what it says about being accepting of people who have hurt you. In order not to take on the responsibility of trying to fix the person who's hurt you, just accept them for who they are. Make peace with it and move on being comfortable beginning your healing process, because you no longer need to spend time and energy trying to get that person to be something or someone they are not. You cannot change them. Use your energy to focus on yourself, not what someone else has done. Allow them to experience consequences of their own choices. You can let yourself off the hook for the choices they've made. Now take a deep breath and experience the freedom from not being attached to another person's choices. Recognizing this and coming to terms with it lets you see clearly who they are. They are your master teacher, teaching you what you needed to learn, to accept, and to change about yourself. This makes the process of acceptance easier for you so you can move forward with your beautiful life. So in essence, when you are dealing with someone who's hurting you and you just look at them for who they are, you're not trying to change them any longer. You're not trying to fix them. You're not trying to manipulate them to do what you need them to do so you can feel better about yourself. Because if you do that, if you're waiting for them to change so you can feel better about you, that change may never come because you're putting your life in someone else's hands. So when you sit back and you say, okay, this person is showing me who they really are. I have to believe who they are, and I have to allow myself to accept that, to radically accept this is the person I'm dealing with. And that's when you have to make a decision and say, this person, the state they're in right now, because you may want them to be someone else or change or grow, but they may not be there. And that's God's business. Remember we talked about that a few weeks ago. That's God's business and God's work to work in them, to will and to do his good pleasure. So as soon as you accept them, you're able to take control of your life back, and then you start to focus on yourself. And inside the workbook, there are 3 things that you can do to move this process along and to practice acceptance. And those things are, you have to accept the person who showed up in your life as your teacher. So pretty much they came into your life for a reason. There's so many things that they said to you or did to you, and God's trying to get your attention. You see, listen to this carefully. He's trying to show you you. He's trying to show you what's inside of you that you need to fix. So let's say, for example, there's a person in your life who's always putting you down and calling you names. You have to take the focus of what they're doing and saying to you, accept them for who they are, but then listen to what they're saying. Because a lot of times, and I know for me, I found when I was being degraded and put down, that's actually how I felt about myself. It's how I felt about myself. So when I took my focus off the person hurting me and focused on what I needed to fix in me, and that moves on to the second thing, that's going inward, looking at what you need to change. What's going on with you that you need to change? Stop focusing on what the person's doing to you and how they're treating you, and focus on what you need to do for you. And it really changes the game, because when you accept the person for who they are, it frees you. You no longer have the responsibility of trying to fix them and change them, because you can't. Only God can do that. Only God can. You can't do it. And the other thing is, talk to yourself in a loving way when you're going through the acceptance, because what happens is your dreams are crushed, right? Because you're thinking, I always thought I was going to walk off into the sunset with this person. Or speaking from my own personal experience, I thought, once he changes, once I can get him to see the light, then my life's going to be happy and fine. And, I'm going to be married for 50 something years. And that wasn't the reality of the situation, because I wanted my ex-husband now to be someone he wasn't. And I was miserable. Okay. So as you're going through this accepting process, begin to talk to yourself in a loving way. Be kind to yourself and give yourself the things that you need to hear. Tell yourself you're wonderful. Tell yourself you're kind. Tell yourself you're generous. Tell yourself you're loving and beautiful. And, begin to nurture that little girl inside of you who needs to heal. And like I always say, it's going to be okay. But you have to not be afraid of yourself any longer, and feeling and understanding who you are at the core of yourself, and what you need in order to grow and to be healthy and to be whole and to live the life that God has ordained for you from the beginning of time. From the beginning of time, He set it all into motion. And sometimes we think the person that's come into our life is there to knock us down and to destroy us and tear us down. And yes, that's what most likely has been happening in a toxic, unhealthy relationship. But when you change the way you see it and you say, okay, I'm going to let this strengthen me and build me up, and realize I don't deserve to be treated this way. I don't deserve to be talked to this way. And begin to love on yourself, and you won't be able to stand it any longer or tolerate the treatment that the other person's giving you. Because remember, you can't fix it or change them until they're ready to see the light of day, right? Until they're ready to see it, there's nothing you can do. I remember my sponsor through Celebrate Recovery that I shared about reminded me constantly when I was going to those groups that, Shena, when you try to jump in there and rescue and save and help and teach and instruct, you're getting in the way of their process. You're getting in the way. You need to let go, and you need to sit back and get out of the way and focus on you. So that's what I want to share. I mean, it's a very, very serious topic, because it can come across like, well, they hurt me so much and they did something to me, and now I got to accept them. It's not accepting the bad behavior. It's just looking at them for who they are and saying, oh, this person is not a very nice person at this point in their life. This person is not a very kind person, and there's nothing I can do to change them. So I'm going to get out of the way. And you're going to let God work in you, and you're going to evaluate yourself and start to treat yourself in a loving, kind way, and go inward and do the necessary healing work to get yourself to where you want to be. And that's ultimately in God's will, His perfect will and perfect plan for your life. All right, so that's the video today, you guys. reach out to me if you want to have a call and we can talk about some of these things. Also, in my book, the book is based on the workbook. So I just want to show you. I'll just lift this up. This is actually my binder, and it's pretty thick. So in here are all the pages, and this is all the work I've done. And I want to say, I want to contribute Melanie Tanya Evans and also Kim Saeed. They were very influential in my healing process and journey, and I have their channels linked on channels you might also like on this YouTube. So you can check them out too. They're very knowledgeable on Narcissist and things like that. So I encourage you, if you're in a situation now where you're really hurting, those are also great resources. Keep watching these videos and I'll keep throwing information out to you as well. And as I learn more, I'll teach you what I know too, right? So just come on back and let's listen and let's learn and let's grow and let's heal together. So the thing I want you to take away is, don't accept the person's bad behavior, but accept that that's the stage they're in now and you can't do anything about it, and turn the focus on you. All right? So until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and try to practice this idea, number 15, accepting the people in your life who've hurt you. All right, you guys, I love you. You can heal, family. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to be able to share my life, my stories, and my experience so you can grow and heal, and we can do this together. So always remember that what? True healing begins with self-love. And we'll talk soon. Bye.